Bitcoin does.
Let me see another one with Max Kaiser. Max Kaiser is also a billionaire. I really like watching these videos because basically it's very hard to get billionaire. It's kind of like talking with a billionaire in a sense and asking him what he thinks about XRP and Bitcoin. If you met a billionaire at a party, this is the exact same thing. Except here you can, hear him speak to maybe 10,000 people. But there it's maybe you one-on-one. So that's the only difference with talking with a billionaire. It's kind of like stopping him on the street and asking him how he got rich. So, they all talk about XRP. They all mentioned it. They all mention altcoins, and they know how the market cycles work because they talk with big bankers and they talk with big institutions. And that makes me very bullish on hearing what they have to say.
Doesn't need us, and it's going to continue on its path with or without humans.
Today, the Federal Open.
That's exactly the thing. Technology is advancing so fast. XRP, Bitcoin, AI, all of that is very much evolving very fast, and it's not going to stop. The market does not care. It will keep going up or down, and at some point, it might be fully automated. These servers might be like working on AI. And that's what the government, it's actually very scary because if we trust that to the banks, they might overtake the banks. They might AI could force, in theory, to delete all the XRP or delete all the banking system records, delete all the accounts, unless this is met. And you might call me a crazy conspiracy theorist, but that's what we saw. But right now we're focusing on Bitcoin's massive growth.
And so even 1% of that multi-$100 trillion funds available, moves the needle on Bitcoin. It moves it up considerably. So if you get into the 5 to 10% range, and then you start to see it really race ahead to those very, very 7-figure type predictions that people have been making.
Yeah, so people have been calling for 1 billion Bitcoin, and if 1 million Bitcoin happens, we could be seeing XRP's prices blow up as well.
Institutions are now finally looking at Bitcoin. So his work on the institutional level, I guess, is bearing fruit now. And I see in the Middle East, they're starting to recognize Bitcoin.
This is what we're seeing right now. We didn't see that before, but we're starting to see it now, is that these Middle East, like Asia markets are getting strong. Africa, South Africa, all of these countries basically are not countries, but places are going to recognize XRP and Bitcoin. They're still under-tapped markets right now. Where XRP is bought is actually in the US, and it's bought in different locations, but it's not bought it's like bought in Korea. It's getting very popular in Korea. But you still have, 150 countries where XRP could be collaborated or could be bought or could be listed on exchanges. And once crypto gets regulated, it's going to give a lot of these governments opportunity to buy more.
And so that's a huge pool of capital. I think all that oil money, when it finds its way into Bitcoin, will be a huge catalyst for a higher price.
Yeah, so what will you do with the oil money? Will you just let it sit in bank? No, you invest it. And you invest some into diversified portfolios like Bitcoin itself, crypto itself, XRP itself. So yeah, they would buy the most stocked coin at the moment, the most coin with the most potential. The reason people buy XRP is because it has the most potential of itself.
It's a natural way for the oil industry to diversify their portfolio and to because Bitcoin essentially is energy, and I think energy eventually gets priced in Bitcoin, and there's a marriage between these two in a big way. So I think that's kind of the answer. Is I've always been fascinated by price discovery in markets. And
so literally most people that are holding XRP right now were at profit. Everyone holding XRP was at profit. Even they hold it through the recession, even if they hold it through the bad times. If you buy it, price discovery basically means if they bought it at $3.6, everybody so far has made money with XRP, which to me is completely crazy.
Kind of the architecture of markets and how markets work under the hood. And, Bitcoin is just such a, it's a pristine, perfect money. And I think it's something that humans have been searching for since forever. And now we're seeing it change society on really a fundamental level with the introduction of Bitcoin. It's a lot of people are freaking out.
The technology for XRP has been unreal. Like they've been developing this for 12 years.
Got it from the beginning. Once it's categorized as an asset class, we have nothing to do except.
And it's gonna get categorized by an asset class in September, and same for XRP. So we will finally have some first rules of regulation of where to go from here.
That people have been making, including myself, for years, because it is an asset class. And so with Bitcoin, all of that is self-contained, and so that's why regulators can't touch it and won't touch it, is because it already has achieved escape velocity, and it's already perfect and referentially to itself. And it's going to continue on its path, on its vector, with or without humans. We need Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't need us. And it's going to continue going.
We need a technology, because right now the banking system, everything is about to be upgraded. You sending money is going to be upgraded by XRP.
Even if humans became extinct, there would still be blocks would still be coming for.
It'll be the
forever.
AI money.
You're right.
So yeah, that is the big thing. Once bank servers go down, that's it. But like with Bitcoin, you can literally make it go 24/7. So there is a lot of potential that people could make crypto last to infinity.
So they make it easy for huge funds to manipulate the price of gold and to scalp and to continuously skim profits off gold, which is what they do almost every day. You can watch it and see it. It's pretty clear. And they are very good at keeping the price of gold and silver down. There are something like, for every ounce of silver, there's probably 50 ounces worth of derivatives floating in the various exchanges around the world that are used to keep the price of silver down.
So exactly the same was happening actually with XRP itself. Every time there was a court case, a lot of XRP got dumped.
Draw capital out of their fiat money scam into gold.
So when people started realizing that, they just bought more XRP. So they realized that whales are buying and selling XRP until one of the whales was lost all its money, because XRP kept going up until he had to sell at a loss, right? Because he didn't buy it. He basically tried to buy it back lower. So he potentially could have made so much more money if he sold it.
At the behest, presumably, of the government. The government likes to stay involved.
So yeah, that's exactly what he predicted. Max Keiser is a billionaire. They're doing exactly that right now, and they're going big on crypto. They're going big on XRP. Why would Trump otherwise meet with XRP CEO Brad Garlinghouse?
It bankrupt JP Morgan. So we started this Crash JP Morgan Buy Silver campaign, and we got the price from 15 up to 50, which was the old
Wow.
A bunk, the bunker, the Hunt brothers. The Hunt brothers got a price
in
up
the 80s.
In the 80s, into the $50 range. They were cornering silver. So we got it back up to the old Hunt brothers $50 level. And then the feds, of course, came in and they changed the laws overnight to make it possible for these banks to have and carry much greater short positions in silver. So they printed up a lot of paper silver derivatives, and they stopped the run on their bank, and the price went back to 15 or so. So we've seen that it is possible to force capitulation in the silver market. But at the end of the day, because the ability to pull private keys is not like it is with Bitcoin, I don't think it will ever succeed. Whereas with Bitcoin, you can pull your private keys, and that is what the late great, I shouldn't say late, but the former Bitcoin superstar Trace Mayer started a campaign that on January 3rd of every year, people would pull their keys off exchanges as a way to maintain integrity and to prevent these derivatives bubbles from building up to excessive price manipulating.
Yeah, so no whales can sell anymore because XRP is now such a high price. So XRP whales could do that 5-10 years ago. But right now, XRP's price is so high up that it will literally not happen. So I'm definitely excited to where XRP can go from here. it's very bullish to me that there's no more whale manipulation. Sometimes trading volume is good, of course, trading, but not when you have like XRP's price so low that it can be bullied into being sold and bought for more, because that's what was happening with it. But yeah, obviously it's just a whale game, and right now XRP is literally making money for everyone. It's getting bought up by whales because they believe in long-term utility. But right now in 2018, we saw a huge sell-off from the whales, which is totally fine. They need their money, and they deserve it probably because they worked hard for it. But it did not raise confidence into whales. Into crypto. And now with that gone, with XRP being so strong, you can literally go sky high here. You can do anything you want, and it's still gonna be good. So I'm thinking a lot of people will be very, very happy with their XRP gains, and the community is much like different than it was before. The technology though was always developing, no matter what happened. So that's what kept a lot of people super, super happy.